entire Great Awakening was a psyop headed by controlled opposition figureheads designed to reveal any dissidents to the pro-government, pro-Israel movement of America. Be crazy. Anyway, have you ever heard of the Zephyr Plan?
Allegedly, David Goldberg was a researcher with a White House insider source, as well as intelligence officials. David was Jewish and Zionist and was horrified in 2019 after learning of Zionist plans through White House memos and other internal documents describing two projects, Project Pogo and Project Zephyr, a two-stage plan. For Pogo, they would utilize TTID, Tag, Track, and ID. They would use this for dissidents, nationalists, patriots, anyone who would pose a long-term threat. They used YouTube gatekeepers, like Alex Jones, to create a space for alternative thinkers. They were all agents paid to put out truthful information to tag, track, and identify the people who were watching and interacting, basically using alt media influencers as honeypots. They then created databases of Americans who were awake. Remember, Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, and Tucker Carlson all have CIA daddies. Their targets are anti-Zionists, anti-Semites, Christians discussing Synagogue of Satan, Muslims, any Goyim who won't conform, and anyone aware of and opposing Zionist world government plans. Project Zephyr, the second stage, the extermination. High-value targets will be taken out through kidnappings via a US-based Israeli Defense Force, or ICE. The low-value targets would be taken out through viruses or other widely applicable means. At the time, they were working on COVID. Goldberg estimated the total number of dissidents to be around 15% of Americans, and that was in 2019. He also said that if there were too many dissidents, they would then conduct power outages and purge-style attacks to take people from their homes and place them into camps. He said that they might blame it on Iran, and false flags would probably take place to make the U.S. go to war with Iran in order to further Israel's Greater Israel Project. It discusses foot soldiers from the U.S. and nuclear weapons being used in Iran. The memos also said that Donald Trump had converted to Judaism in 2017 and joined the Chabad Lubavitch Synagogue in New York and had been meeting with high-level rabbis in which these plans were discussed. These plans said several times that he would have to declare himself king of Israel publicly to symbolically declare the start of the plans. Trump is not just a Jew, according to the memos, he's a Freemason, and allegedly has been promised high-ranking positions for his children in the government that they're forming, which will be headquartered in Jerusalem. David posted his findings on his YouTube channel. His channel was then scrubbed. David Goldberg died on June 8, 2019, in his Brooklyn apartment. He was found by his neighbor dead on the floor, with foam coming out of his mouth and no apparent cause of death. No cause of death has ever been publicly released. His friends claim that the police took a lot of his things, much more than they should have for the situation. All data about David Goldberg has been scrubbed from the internet.
Told you that the entire great...
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. From the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. There's nothing new. It's just their tongues are falling upon themselves. This is a tall tale book. The Lord is exposing Esau in the highest level possible. And how is he doing it? Oh, by every means necessary. Psalm 64. I should have looked it up before I did this, but it's all right. Psalm 64 and 8. It says, So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and they shall see them and flee away. So their tongues, what we call the whistleblowers, are telling on themselves, which we all knew. People like Alex Jones, he's an insider. He's an insider. All right, he got his own channel. I have a television, Telelive television. I could get actually InfoWar, and in that InfoWar, no matter what the current president do, they have nothing bad to say about this dude. But lately, they've been talking about that welfare state. And when they've been talking about that welfare state, it's controlled, of course. But he's one of the main catalysts to push certain information. Now, the thing I was looking up, that would just cross my mind. I always do this anyway. Illuminati cards. So this is your Trump right here. The guy looks exactly like Trump. Exactly like Trump. Enough is enough. Yep. They even said it too. Slacky, I was too quick with the draw. This is Assassin series INW. This came out 1995, right? Illuminati card game. Donald Trump. Enough is enough? Question mark. And that was one of the main things. Now, the one I really want to, particular for this show, is something which we all know. I mean, every brother in GMS should have been has probably made mention of this particular thing I'm about to make mention of. But there it is. Conspiracy theorists. All right, the conspiracy theorist card look like a more of like a Glenn Beck, so to speak. And if I'm not mistaken, it says this power. No, not the power. So the conspiracy theorist is the ones that exposes the things that we as the people don't really know. We don't know what the inner circles of it. All we could do is just guess what's going on. However, us guessing and them telling us. So let me slow it down a little bit because I made a statement before in a previous video, and all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, the creator of all things, is so bad that he created his own adversary. All right, he created his own. Um, he created his own people to come against him. That's how bad the Lord is, right? Let me get this real quick. And this is why you have to give praises to the Most High, right? Proverbs 16:4. The Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So the Lord Yahweh created all things and made other nations and all this different people to come against him. All right. The only people that was going to take his side is his own people. That's how powerful the Lord is. I bring this up for a reason. So on the flip side, the devil, okay, the devil who has been hiding amongst the people, they also have a thing of making their own adversary. Esau has a God complex now. All right. So the, them making their own adversary. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Ezekiel 28. That's not one. Like you. It says, the word of the Lord came again, saying unto me, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, because thine heart is lifted up, that has said, I am my God. I sit in the temple. Sorry, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thy heart as the heart of God. So these people literally have a God complex. All right. Matter of fact, oh, come on, work with me here. Second Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there shall come a falling away first, and that man of sin shall be revealed, the son of perdition. The man of sin that is revealed is Esau, the son of destruction. All right, the son of destruction, and that falling away was 70 A.D. And it says, who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right. So they the ones that's going around pretending to be the higher power. So what we heard from that lady who hit her face was the inner workings, somewhat of the inner workings of this global elites. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was a video, one of the videos, whatever. It was breaking down about the Rothschilds and how the Rothschilds are considered to be gods within that inner circle. Like you can't, they're the hierarchy. So I brought up all that to say this exact thing that Esau is doing. Now, when you go to, matter of fact, I'm not gonna, should I even do that? I'm just gonna go quote a couple scriptures. When you go to Revelations, the 6th chapter, the 4th verse on down, speaks of the red horse, the pale horse, and the black horse. Right? Am I saying right? Pale? No. The red, the black, and the pale. Now, in this world, the way they will teach you is like, um, 4 horsemen are coming to destroy. That no, the red horse represents Esau. The, the black horse represents the famine that Esau causes. The pale horse is death. All right, all the death that they bring in upon the world. So they're playing God. All right, the devils that's in top are playing God. They want to push you, the people, to the breaking point, causing all this ruckus, causing all these things to happen. So once you naturally react, then they could impose their will against you. Okay? So this is why I said I made a statement, which is written in the scriptures, that the Lord created everything for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. So this devil on earth, pretending to be God, I gotta use the G word for this, lower G's for him, all right, because he is a judge. We are in Esau's blessing. So he himself is trying to ensure his rulership, to solidify his rulership upon the world. Okay? And this is where everybody else comes in line. So, yeah, they're going around pretending to be a god. And with this technology that they have, it's gone to their head. So the Lord has puffed up this man so high. All right? Matter of fact, let me get another one. Isaiah 14. I think I still have more in Ezekiel. Let me get that. Isaiah 14 and 12, I believe. So hard that fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. So Lucifer, they'll tell you, oh, that's Satan. And he was cast out of. No, Lucifer just means light bearer. All right, like the name Luke. All right, Luke is a name, that's a name of Lucifer, or Lucas. That's Luciferian. This just means light bearer. There's nothing wrong with name Lucifer, Lucas, or none of that. It just means light bearer. Okay? In this case, what is a form of the light bearers? The illuminating ones. All right? And what are they illuminated with? Knowledge on the left hand side. This is why the scripture says, real quick, Sirach 19 and 22. Yeah, 22. It says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of the sinner is prudence. So knowledge of wickedness, that's what they have. That's their stronghold. That's their light. Okay? That's what they go by. I'll come back to this. Something else that popped in mind. Oh, so much. Let me calm down. It says, so also, when we read again, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Heaven is a place, right? Is a status, is rulership on earth. So he's gonna this scripture this is a prophecy saying that he's about to lose his status on earth. He's about to lose his position. Okay? Not Ezekiel, Ecclesiastes 3 and 15, it speaks of judgment under the sun. All right? That wickedness was there in righteousness. So we live in a place where some people live in a heavenly state. They have the riches, they have the health, they live in good, and there's places where nobody has anything. They are just in total hell. Okay, what the world considered hell. But there's no such thing as hell. Hell is a condition that played on earth. After a person dies, their spirit goes back to the Most High. It says, "Oh Lucifer." Also in this particular scripture, it speaks of Halal, light bearer. Like I said, Lucifer, the shining one, morning star. Which the morning star is the planet Venus. That's the first star in the morning, and at night you see that star. All right. So the Lord Himself, Yahushua, is um he's a light bearer. He's Lucifer, right? He's not Satan. Okay, Satan is the definition. The word Satan means adversary. Okay, adversary. See, when you look up words and you understand words, it doesn't affect you much because of why you understand who runs things, who really runs things in this world. The Most High, Yahweh. All right, Yahweh runs this world. And if you understand Yahweh's plan through Yahweh Shai, everything becomes easier, obtainable. It's not that hard. It's not no mystery. It says of the king of Babylon and Satan figuratively. So it speaks of the king of Babylon. The king of Babylon is who? Is Esau, Edom. Psalms 137. I don't want to make this too long because a lot of precept comes in mind. So I'm going to just quote some. 137 and about 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom and the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Subheading of this particular verse, Edom, right? Edom is associated with what? Next verse, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. So the king of Babylon is Esau, Edom. This is why there's a campaign right now of Edomites claiming that this is their home. They're going to get their home again. All this verbal nonsense is going on. They want their ruler. They want to be back in the position of what they once was. Right? They want to be back in that heavenly state. They wanted servants. This is why they're terrorizing people. All right. We are under Esau's blessing right now. It says, "Son of the morning, who art said, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" And now we see how they weaken the nations. Ultimately, by the military might, they weaken the nations. Sanctions, another form of weakening the nations. All right. Before the sanctions come, they send the CIA. What do they call it again? Economic hitmen to destabilize nations. All right. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. Which what are the stars of the Most High? The children of Israel. All right. And I was set also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Where's that? North America. This is where all the 12 tribes are at. And I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This is why you have a technology palantir, all right, where they could hunt you down, catch certain patterns. Everything that woman was saying. All right, certain patterns. Who's part of the red list? The honey trap was what? The truth, some form of truth. So when people gravitate these some form of truth, you leave yourself open to being trapped. And just like honey, a bug will come and honey smells good, and it gets in there, gets stuck up, and it gets killed. So the honey traps are set. They find the people that you could gravitate to tell you things. You think that they're your teachers, your leaders, but all they was doing was leading you astray. And here it is, this man set the trap for the masses of the people. All right. It says back in Ezekiel 28:3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There's no secret that they can hide from thee, which if you break that down, Daniel he interpret dreams. All right. He was able to interpret dreams. So they're saying you are wiser than Daniel. So there was no secret that they can hide from these people because this is part of his blessing, part of his sword. All right. The sword of Esau is the physical, but he has to deceive people. He has to use witchcraft to keep the people's minds down. It says, with thy wisdom and with thy understanding that thou hast gotten the riches and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. And you saw what they just did to Venezuela. And the word is out is they use unconventional weapons that you see in movies. All right. When they say like 20 men killed like 300 men easily. And then what did they do? Now they stealing all the gold and the silver and all the natural resources out of Venezuela. They the hammers of the earth. I mean, how many? Well, it doesn't matter. You people should know that Esau is a devil. Okay. It says, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic has thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against thy beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. How? By this thermonuclear destruction. And you will die as a man. All right. You Edomites are nothing but men. And it says, and they shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the death of them that are slain in the midst of the sea, which the sea represents the people. All right. It says, wilt thou yet say before him that slay thee, I am a God? But thou shalt be a man and no God, and in the hand of him that slayeth thee. So you're nothing. Now you Edomites are nothing. Y'all could set up the honey traps and set up your little ice agents, all these little agencies and so forth, come down hard on the people. Your end is gonna be the same like every other man. You nothing but cow food. All right. Circle of life. You nothing but cow food. It says Isaiah 51 and 12. I, even I, am he that comfort you. Who art thou that shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die? So the creator of all things, he's the one we should be in fear of. He's the one that controls everything. He's the one that's controlling this man. And the Son of Man, which shall be made as grass. What? They're gonna become cow food. All right, they're gonna die, and their body's gonna go back into the earth, and the earth is gonna use that compost to uh, to enrich the soil, so grass can grow. So you're nothing but a man at the end of the day, and the Lord's gonna expose you to that. Because the Lord, when he comes back, he's not coming back as a man. He's not going to come back as an equal to you. He's coming back in his godly state. He's going to put you out. I was watching Apostle Ramnat show. He was on fire. He said, "You Homo sapiens," what you got that from the movie X-Men, and you Homo sapiens and your guns. The Lord is coming for you, man. All right, you think you gods? You think because you have the technology, the Palantir, and all this other shit, you keeping your eyes on every single person that speaks against your government and this all this other shit. You think you're emboldened by that? That's all. That is all part of your blessing. That's part of the package deal. But it also is part of your blessing is the utter destruction of America. All right, the empire is going to fall in an hour. How about that? So you ain't no God, E. You're just a man that's caught up in his pride. All right, there's just drinking the juice of drinking the juice of what the Lord gave unto you. All right, you're feeling yourself, son, and the Lord's going to bring you back down to earth. So with that being said, I could go more, but it is what it is. Spirit, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.